All right. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Okay, after what happened in the last stream, we're doing our test right off the top here. Hello, me. Right off the top here. Hello, me. All right, right back at you, buddy. Hello. I swear the mic never messes up when I remember to test it. Hey, Emperor Renard. Hello, hello. Hey, good to see you, buddy. How are you? Glad to see you. Oh, hello there. Girly, oh wait, Gilraid Elenzar, hello, how are you? Good to see you, good to see you. Welcome in, welcome in. Um, Frostpunk 2 on console plays really nicely. Wonderful job adapting the controls. Oh, that's excellent. I know, I'm happy for you because I know you've been waiting forever to play that for console. So I'm glad that it's living up to expectations. That's awesome. Hey, John. Hello. Hello, John. How are you? Good to see you, buddy. How's everything going? Kill rate is good. Okay, good. Sorry. I'm always the worst when it comes to, like, reading screen names. I don't know why. Kill rate. Yes. I lurk until my next meeting. Awesome. I love a good lurk. I find lurking to be very, what's the word I'm looking for? Not polite. It is polite, but generous to stop in and hang out even if you can't chat. So I appreciate it. Which Australian state are you going to play? We are going to do New South Wales. So we are doing one more mod run before National Awakening comes out. So we're trying the Australia-New Zealand flavor pack. I've been wanting to try this one for a very long time. Okay. I had a moment. Oh, man, you can't see it because my stupid face is in the way. But it says at the bottom here for my checksum that the game is modified. I'm like, wait, what? The game is modified? I'm like, oh yeah, wait, I am playing with a mod. Maximilian, hello, Stralia. That's right, we're going to be Stralia today. So, we've got this new extra thing here. Going out tomorrow on another reenactment for the weekend at Dunkirk. Ooh, very cool. At Dunkirk. That's going to be awesome. That will be very, very good. Good luck. Good luck on that. I'm not sure. Yeah, I'm not sure what you say. Good luck, I guess, because you want it to go well. Building fledgling nations in Australasia from the ground up under the watchful eye of the British Empire. You will face many challenges, but overcoming them will shape your nation's character as you make your mark on the world stage. Every playable nation has unique flavor, though New South Wales is designed as the main player in Australia. New Zealand can be played a few years early by selecting them here, but you'll skip content for the New Zealand company and negotiating the Treaty of Waitangi. To access the content, start. Okay, all of that. Yeah, but we're going to start as New South Wales. So let's do that. Look at that unique art we have for it. Oh, who's going to Dunkirk? So this is in the Twitch chat. Our friend Emperor Renard, he does war reenactments in France for the wars, and he's doing one this weekend at Dunkirk. So very, very good. Hope all goes well for it. Hey, oh yeah, hello, let's go. Hello, hello, welcome, welcome. All right, so yeah, we've got a little bit of a different looking map here. So that's cool, right? So let's do the, let's read the first journal entries here, see what we got. The Penal Colony of New South Wales. On February 7th, 1788, Captain Arthur Phillip raised the Union Jack above Sydney Cove, claiming the continent of Australia for the British Empire and changing its fate forever. By 1836, the colony had grown into a thriving community with emerging towns with wool and wheat industries. Land is abundant and blessed with many natural resources, diverse landscapes from the Great Dividing Range to the outback, tropical rainforests, and rolling plains. 65,000 years of continuous indigenous culture was upended by settlers seeking to spread Western civilization. Nearly 50 years since the beginning of colonization, the settlers have pushed further inland, and the frontiers of the colonial administrations are stained with indigenous blood. Settlements at Perth, Adelaide, and Hobart have been granted self-governance by the Crown, shattering the continent into 4 governor-run colonies, with other regions advocating for their own government. The future of New South Wales will be violent and brutal. Oof. But as the largest and most populous colony, New South Wales comes into the Victorian era with the fate of Australia in its hands. Cheers, mate. I love it. You can say merde. Oh, yeah, which means shit. You know, we actually say that in the theater quite a bit, too. When somebody doesn't say break a leg, they'll say merde. That's another thing you say for good luck that comes from the times where cars weren't a thing yet. And so in front of the theater, if you had lots of poop on the ground in front of it, it meant that a lot of people came to see you. Oh, you know, horses. Oh, that's where that comes from. Yeah, because I've heard in theater we say it quite a bit, actually. But I never really knew what it meant or where it came from. I mean, I knew it was a French word, but I didn't really... I thought it was one of those things where it's like... I knew it meant something bad, but I thought it was like when you say break a leg, like that. Oh, that's really cool. All right, now I know the context of it. Awesome. All right, the Frontier Wars. Since the first fleet arrived on Australia's shores, there has been numerous outbreaks of violence between Indigenous Australians and non-Indigenous settlers. Drastic action must be taken by the colonial administration if these massacres are to stop. We will see what we can do. Okay, so while the Frontier Wars are ongoing, any Aboriginal or Torres Strait Islander populations in our Australian states will have their standard of living reduced by 2. Okay, so let's take a look. Oh, we have a company. We start with the company, the Australian Agricultural Company. Pretty good. And we can get the prestige good merino wool. And we can add tobacco to it. We'll see what we have here. But this isn't bad. Okay. I like that it has coal. And let's take a look here. Henry Dumaresque. So it doesn't give us anything as an executive. Let's take a look at our leader, see what we got going on with this guy. Richard Burke. Armed Forces, part of the Whig Party. So we got colony growth speed. So we have some historical characters. William Wentworth, James MacArthur, Samuel Marsden, Kenneth Snodgrass, Richard Jones, John Plunkett, Charles Cowper, and Birbin Awabako. Oh, this is cool. We have an extra IG, the Indigenous. Oh, that's pretty cool. Okay, okay. So what's our laws? We got a parliamentary republic, oligarchy, racial segregation, state religion, appointed bureaucrats, peasant levies, National Guard. So we got agrarianism. We got homesteading. We have a school system. That's good. We got local police force. We might need to get off of that. Oh, and we have a slavery law variant. Penal transportation. Oh, so it gives the landowners political strength, but we receive convict transports. Every 3 months, one of your Australian homeland states will receive a shipment of English, Irish, or Scottish slaves. So I guess like convicts. Huh. All right. And then we have a new law, Aboriginal Affairs. Aboriginal Affairs. Plus 39 max acceptance of the native social class. Oh, I gotta look at that. I guess we got an extra social class. Plus 59 maximum acceptance for the half-caste social class. Can establish native protectorates. Minus 30% Aboriginal National Movement activism. So the Anglican Church gets some political strength. We get a discount on the cost of education. And an uptick in Aboriginal conversion. Okay. We are a penal colony, Seamus. It's what we are. Yeah, I know, right? The penal colony. That's very cool that they added that in there. All right, and we have a couple of... Yes, we have a couple of institutions here. So I guess the first thing we want to get off of is the local police force. Yeah, our landowners are the strongest, but not by a whole lot. So I guess a goal for this run, I'd like to see, this is going to be very lofty. Can we get independence from Great Britain in one session? My guess is probably no, but we could try. So let's go to dedicated police force. Oops, what was that? All right, so we're good there. So we have... How many... Yeah, I guess we just have the one state, right? Oh, no, we have a couple. Oh, I see. Yeah, yeah, our colony spreading. Fort Phillip, where's this? Okay. Moreton Bay. Up there. And then, oh, the Northern Territory. So we have one all the way up here. Interesting. Okay. Need more bureaucracy. Ah, yeah, look at that. Need a little bit more. Just a little bit. Alright, so we have the Great Dividing Range. So we're losing some state construction efficiency, infrastructure, colony growth speed. So we have a natural harbor. This is good. The Sydney Basin coal field. We get coal throughput. And then the Murray-Darling Basin. Oh. So we're losing 10 infrastructure, but we're gaining 20. So we get plus 10. We're losing 15% colony growth speed, but we're gaining 20. And then we get agricultural throughput. So let's take a look at our buildings. You should increase your colonial institution. Yeah, since that's going to be the name of the game here, we'll need to increase that. Let's see. So we have some ports. Yeah, New South Wales will be our main state here. We have a trade center in New South Wales, so let's pin that. Yeah, let's look at just what we have here. We got a coal mine, some livestock, some wheat. We have a trade center. So I think what we'll start with is we'll start with the 2 construction sectors. We can start importing stuff. We'll do the 3 wood, a tooling, ooh, not that yet. And then the cotton. You have an isolated state, yeah. Yeah, we got a few of the, yeah, oh yeah, we got the 1. Oh yeah, we have an isolated state. So yeah, I guess you're right. We should do that. We should do a port first, get them connected. So we'll put that up top. So this build queue should get us through the initial building phase. We're in the British market. So actually, we should be okay on wood and fabric for now. Let's take a look at the tech tree. So we have urban planning. Look at that. We're on the 2nd level. I guess we would have to be since we have corporate charters. Okay. We start with the atmospheric engine. Okay, I like it. So let's first go to railways, and then the water tube boiler, and then intensive agriculture. We'll do modern sewage next, and then get our next company. Oh, do we have malaria here? We don't. You never know. Alright, so we don't need to rush to quinine. And then at the end of this, yeah, we'll add in general... Oh no, not logistics. Fieldworks. So this is a good initial research queue. When we're done with this initial build queue, then we will reassess. Let's get some road maintenance in the Northern Territory until the port is done. Do that there. We'll promote social mobility. And then we'll keep it at that for now so we can just get a little bit of enactment time on stuff. So let's take a look at this. The Frontier Wars. The Frontier Wars are a series of violent conflicts between the native population and the European settlers as the colonial frontier expands across the continent. Although the colonial administrations are usually not directly responsible for most conflicts, and despite orders from above to protect the native populations, there is increasing conflict as settlements develop further inland. Maintaining order on the frontiers can be difficult as settlers are incentivized to pursue their interests for wealth and safety at the cost of indigenous land and blood. So, frontier control will influence how likely some conflicts are, and add a positive or negative modifier at the scaled intensity to this journal. So to complete it, this is at 100. We've enacted equal rights. The indigenous are at +5. No Aboriginal decentralized nation exists in the Australian continent. So this is going to take a while. And New South Wales has an Aboriginal subject in their capital state. If completed, we get reconciliation, plus 30% bureaucracy cost for Indigenous affairs, but cultural acceptance for the Native class and education access for the Native class, and political strength to the Indigenous. And it'll fail if there's no Aboriginal decentralized nation. Ah, I see. Okay. So basically, once all of Australia is colonized, we need this to get to 100. We've enacted equal rights. The Indigenous are happy. And we have an Aboriginal subject. If we don't have all those before all of it is colonized, then we fail. And we get lasting effects of colonialism. Negative 10% political strength. And negative 5 for the first and second. So some effects to the political strength of social classes. And then negative 10% education access for the native social class. So how big are these social classes? So our biggest are the English. But very close to them are the Aboriginal. Yeah, look at that. And they're at +10. The Irish, the Scottish. Oh, but our primary is Australian, and they're a very small amount. But the English are accepted. Okay, so that's good. Okay. Oh yeah, and then lastly, is there anybody we want to improve relations with? I guess for now, we'll keep relations high here. Can we declare any interests? Let's keep an interest with France, because eventually if we want independence, we'll do that. Alright, I think we're ready to unpause. Let's do this. Now let's read this for a second. The first sheep brought to Australia in 1788 were not well suited to the environment and primarily used for meat, as they did not produce good quality wool. In 1797, a mere 26 merino sheep were introduced, derived from the royal merino flocks of Spain, whose wool is of world-class quality. Soon after, Captain John MacArthur, a wealthy and powerful pioneer, began breeding merino on vast acres of land. Taking several decades for the breeding program to produce enough wool to auction, the first Australian wool was sold in London in 1821, receiving acclaim for being on par with the finest Spanish fleece. This endeavor will be challenging, but with London impressed, we have an exciting opportunity to establish a thriving merino wool industry at a global scale. While the Australian Agricultural Company is established, if any men of real capital or powerful, if any real men of capital are powerful or are in government, they will secure a royal charter from the British monarchy granting an additional company slot. So who are those guys? Oh. Refers to aristocrats and capitalists as members of the landowners and industrialists. Okay. Will complete if the following has been true for 2 years. New South Wales has greater or equal to 15 levels of livestock. We have 5 levels of livestock ranches. Merino wool in the British market has greater or equal to 5% of the global exports. Okay, so basically, first, we need to get the prestige good. So we need to reach prosperity. How many? So we have 3 livestock ranches. We want the company to build it. So we have 3 charters. Do we have tobacco? Oh, look at this. Oh, we can build a native reserve. We can get fruit, grain, fish, and meat. But we don't have access to tobacco. So we'll hold off on that. Alright. Oh, I didn't look at taxes at all. Ooh, this is going to take a while. Alright, we'll give them their port after we get everything up and running here. We're not going to spend the first year just getting the Northern Territorial port. Which means we can hold off on giving them road maintenance for now. So what do we got here? Yeah, we got very few population. Where do we have tobacco? Because I'd like to give our company then a colony charter. Yeah, so maybe up around here. No, not there. Yeah, we could go here. Yeah, it wasn't around there at all. Yeah, so maybe if we could do it here, if we can get there quick enough. We might not, though. And what's our military? Because it sounds like people are going to be attacking us. The Mounted Police. Who's this guy? James Winnett Nunn. You should colonize Papua New Guinea. Yeah. Yeah, it doesn't have, though, tobacco I was hoping for, but yeah, we could still colonize it. Though, the problem, too, with colonizing, though, the more colonies you add, the slower all of them colonize, and we really need to colonize the continent here. Kenneth Snodgrass, leader of the armed forces, has been speared in Moreton Bay after a confrontation between settlers and members of the Bundjalung people. Ooh. So... I don't really care too much about the armed forces happiness at the moment. You're not colonizing the Northern Territories. Well, I have frontier colonization, so I don't think I'm going to be able to at the moment. A lowborn man has risen as a popular leader of the intelligentsia, with some not so pleased by such social mobility. Oh wait, oh that's right though, we do have the Northern Territory up there, yeah. Let's take a look at it in a moment. Oh yeah, the intelligentsia are marginalized. Who's our guy? Charles Cowper. Yeah, we'll keep... Wait. Oh, I'm looking at the industrialists. John Plunkett. Yeah, he's not great. Though, it might be worth it just to have an agitator. So we'll do that. Ray Hope, a utilitarian. Okay. Plus 2% political strength. Yeah, plus 5% political movement pop attraction as an agitator. So, kind of good to keep that we got this guy as an agitator. So let's see. Is there anywhere... Oh, well, we can go here. Oh, no, we're already doing that. We're already doing that. Yeah, so we can't do the Northern Territory yet. Until we get off of... frontier colonization. So, let's see. What's this? We will get negative 15 influence, negative 2 prestige. Every Australian state region in which we own at least a part of, excluding the Northern Territory, gains the merino wool state trait, providing a plus 20% fabric output boost if it does not already have it. Okay. Ooh. Oh, this is good. We get progress toward intensive agriculture. We will do that. You can incorporate the Northern Territories, by the way. Yeah, but I think we'll wait until we get... until we can at least connect them to us. Alright, who's this? Oh, this isn't us. Yeah, we're not sending troops over to Northern Africa. So let's take a look at the Sydney here. I didn't look... I'm pretty sure this one is Sydney, but which one this is? Law setback. Alright. Okay, so we've got our construction sectors. Go to medium taxes. Techno robots, hello. How to support intelligentsia in Victoria 3. This is a good question, right? So building universities is always a good way to do it. That'll increase them. Let's see. What else could we do? Laws that will increase bureaucrat strength, mostly. Yeah, so appointed bureaucrats is 1. There's another thing we could do. I forget. One big way, one big way to do it is go to state atheism. That always gives the intelligentsia a major boost. Going to census suffrage. Right, yeah. Plus 30 political strength from literate pops votes. So census suffrage always gives them a little bit more political power. Those are kind of the main ways. The intelligentsia is a tough one to empower most times. Free settlers having moved to Moreton Bay, hoping to build a new life in New South Wales, are struggling to survive in the unfamiliar environment. Yeah, we'll take the money hit, and not the hit to our colony. I play as Ukraine now, but I am new. What's the best way to develop Ukraine? Oh, interesting. Okay. I've never actually done a Ukraine run, but so first, obviously, you have to start as Russia, release Ukraine. I think, though, like, with Ukraine, yeah, you start off with really good resources, really good numbers of peasants. So I think the way after you release Ukraine from Russia, I guess it depends on also how you're releasing yourself. Are you releasing yourself as independent or still as a subject of Russia? I think if you're independent, the best way to do it is to get good relations and possibly a defensive pact with Great Britain or France so that they'll come to your aid with Russia, or even Austria. Austria should start with bad relations with Russia, other than the last stream that we did, in which they were friends. Independent, yeah. So yeah, get yourself a defensive pact with somebody that opposes them. Best way to do it is usually just to come here, look at diplomacy, and see who's declaring a rivalry on them. So if it were this run, I'd have us focus heavily on Great Britain to start, and they'll probably be willing to be friendly with you. Get a defensive pact, but then from their development is just like anybody else that you would do, because they're starting off with like great resources, and a good number of people. So develop like your construction sectors to start and some industries, and then you go from there. I think they're a country that you can go really far with because of all the stuff they have. But I think because probably, especially if you're starting independent, Russia is probably going to be antagonistic towards you for most of it. So I think getting a defensive pact, or even an alliance if you can, at the start, or as quickly as you can, would be very vital. Don't forget to build native reservations. Well, the thing I'm wondering about that is, yeah, it gives us all of this stuff, which isn't so bad, but it is going to take meat production away from the livestock ranches, and we want to get the company to be prosperous. So I think we won't do any of the native reserves until we can get our prosperity bonus here. Game is not even close to Hearts of Iron 4 or EU4. I mean, yeah, it's a very different game. Very, very different game. And I love it. Though previously opposing the dedicated police force laws, Ray Hope has considered the armed forces' political position and instead offers support. Yeah, this is good. We'll do that. So what do we get when we get prosperity bonus? Colonial growth generation, colony growth speed, and minus 15% abolitionist movement pop attraction. Okay. Yeah, we should do this too. Why not? Let's see, where's that other colony? Morton Bay, there we go. The fishing industry up here, okay. So we have sulfur here. There's sulfur here too. We really have some great resources. What does the inside of the country look like? We've got lead. Oh yeah, do we have access to lead at the moment? Oh yeah. Oh yeah. My god, we have everything in here. Alright. Well, that's good. Oh, I haven't been paying close enough attention to the budget. Which is not good. So nothing yet to sell. Oh, let's sell the coal, because maybe our company will take it. And we'll do the logging camps to start. Problem is, they're still building up money. Oh, good, yeah. So the next thing they're going to do is they're going to privatize that coal mine. Excellent. So after we build that port, we're going to build iron mine so we can switch to iron frame buildings. Interesting, we are ranked 104th, but we only have a 15% interest rate. I would have expected it to be double that. Don't mind that. Well, okay, so we do have the petite bourgeoisie being happy about it, so that's good. We have gradually attracted free migrants seeking manual labor. They view the free labor of convicts as a threat to their livelihood. Nice. With which they cannot compete. Others view convicts as a disreputable stain. The rural folk are petitioning Governor Burke to appeal to the colonial office for the abolition of convict transportation. Plus 10% enactment for slavery banned. I don't know if we want to get rid of that yet. Yeah, we can get the landowners a little bit happier. Intelligentsia is in opposition. How do I change this? So you mean like in opposition to a law that you're trying to pass? Or like... Well, now we're going to do a headphone switch here. I don't know why these earbuds are bugging me today. I'm going to go with these little guys. There we go. So if they're in opposition to a law, you can't really change that they're in opposition to the law, but you can increase your success chance. in certain ways. So, like, you want the people who approve of the law to be in government, and you want the intelligentsia to be out of government. Oh, the speed. Oh, yeah, yeah. Thank you, John. Thank you. Induce it. Oh, did you mean the slavery thing? I think we want to keep that for a little bit because we're going to need population. I feel like we got a good population numbers, but yeah, look at that. Yeah, we only have 1.82K. We kind of need the shipment of convicts at the moment. LaPlace, hello, hello. How are you, friend? Good to see you. But yeah, you can't really change that the intelligentsia are opposed to the law enactment, if that's what's happening. But you can increase your success chance to overcome it. I can hear Dundee voice in this run. Yeah, right. I'm trying to think of a line to say. It's been so long since that was like the lines you would quote. Yeah, that's the first one I thought of. That's not a knife. This is a knife. And then there's the Simpsons one that I always have in my head. That's not a knife. That's a spoon. Oh, I see you've never played. I see you've never played Knifey Spoony before. In 1835, the Port Phillip Association was founded to settle land John Batman. John Batman. That's amazing. Wait, we got a guy named John Batman? I feel like that's like if somebody couldn't think of a name of like a generic American, they'd be like, I don't know, his name like John Batman. And I'm sure this guy would be like, it's not Batman. It's Batman. It's Batman. Batman. Not Batman. Sorry, buddy. You're John Batman. Claimed to have acquired from the Runji people. Unofficially, this area became known as Batmania. I love it. Batmania. Governor Burke has declared this settlement the capital of the region. Now also renamed as Melbourne. Oh my god, that's Melbourne? In honor of William Lamb, 2nd Viscount Melbourne. Port Phillip becomes an incorporated state. The settlement of Batmania will be... Wait, what? We had a settlement named Batmania? Where? Oh, I don't know on the map where Melbourne is, though. Oh, wait. It's a city. In Port Phillip. Yes. Oh, so this place... You know, I don't actually know on the map how you... Sometimes you see the city name, sometimes you don't. I don't know what does it. Aw, I wish I had known it was named that. Alright. Oh, do we want this guy to become the leader of the intelligentsia? Okay, we can't look at him, but who's our current leader? Oops. Plus 2% pop attraction. Minus 2% political strength. Yeah, let's get John Batman. I want to have John Batman. So that we can get more events. Yeah, it's with John Batman. Representing his constituents in the Anglican Church, Thomas Saunders has issued a formal petition to the New South Wales government to pass charity hospitals. Uh, okay, yeah, sure. It's not great, but we can eventually change it. Aboriginal students sometimes use their native language in New South Welsh schools. Some have called for teachers to penalize the use of these languages, forcing children to speak the official language of New South Wales. Yeah, we could use some radicalism decreases. All right. But joking aside, Aussie had a problem here in Bali. Oh, really? Really? Tell me, what is the issue? That's interesting. So I need to grow popular the intelligentsia to make the guy come to my landowner. Ooh, we got dedicated police force. Well, no, making the intelligentsia popular will give them more power to oppose the law. Now, you could look for an intelligentsia agitator that would have an ideology that supports whatever the law is. Invite them into the country as an agitator, and then eventually you would have the option to make them the head of the intelligentsia, and then that could help you out. Because they like to drunk and unobey. Oh, the traffics. Oh. You don't know Melbourne. No, that's the thing. I know Melbourne. I didn't know it used to be called Batmania. That's the city with the big opera house. Yeah. Yeah, no, I know Melbourne. But yeah, I was laughing because I didn't realize it used to be called Batmania. They were the Batcave. Though it's not the capital. Yeah. David, hey, how are you? Good to see you. Welcome in. Wait. That's the city with the big opera house. Oh no, isn't that's Sydney? Sydney has the big opera house. I mean, Melbourne is a major city. That's Sydney that has the big opera house. You should pass professional army. Oh, yeah. We got to get off of peasant levies at some point. Oh, and actually, yeah, we just passed the law. What do we want to do? Because we have pretty good... Oh, well, actually, no. Next thing we're going to do is charity hospitals, so we'll do that. And then maybe we'll do professional army next. And unobey the traffic. Yeah. Yeah, unobey the traffic. That's interesting. Do you need to pass theocracy to evangelize subjects? You don't need to. You just need to increase conversion. So, making the church happy, depending on which church IG you have. Like here, we get plus 15% conversion. Depending on your religion law. So state religion allows conversion from every social class, as opposed to, like, you can see here, like if you went to freedom of conscience, you can only do conversion in the 1, 2, and 3. So you can increase it by having state religion, and then of course promote national values will give you an increase in conversion. It's not Melbourne, by the way. The Opera House is called the Sydney Opera House. Yeah. Yeah, for a second I was like, wait, the Opera House. That's Sydney. Oh, yeah, the speed, thank you. Many convicts shipped here were found guilty of petty crimes. However, a batch of particularly violent convicts have recently been transported to our colony. Not long after their arrival, they managed to escape their masters and go on a murder spree. Oh dear. Okay. So we're just going to get this stuff no matter what. If he has an old PC, it'll probably break the game on speed 5. Yeah. No, I have a new one. I don't like to go to speed 5 though, because I like to be able to like adapt and adjust to things. And my brain just doesn't work fast enough for speed 5. I think it's pretty good. It's nice to hear how someone foreign can twist up the language at times. Oh yeah, my English is... No, yeah, I think your English is great, actually. Your bureaucracy is in the red. Yeah, but not by too much. We're only getting 3% tax waste right now. We could use a government admin, but I don't think it's not vital at the moment. Like our unrealized taxes is only 94 pounds, and that's coming from tax waste and not uncollected taxes. I read your chat in Discord, how your YouTube algorithm fills up with Kirk. Must be annoying. It really is. Yeah, like everything. Every video are just videos of... And it's videos of just like the debates he's had. So just all of his ideas nonstop being fed to me. And I'm like, I could do without this. It's quite an inflection moment here in the US right now, I have to say. All right. We need to start getting some urban buildings so we can sell those instead of these rural buildings. With the calls for some form of healthcare system, many are questioning where the money for setting up the new healthcare system will come from. Some are suggesting simply taking it out of our tax funds, while others insist the government should find another way to cover the costs. Well, this isn't so bad. We do negative 100 tax income. The Opium Wars... Or getting the treaty port. Not much in it for us, though. Oops. See, part of being in the British market, too... We can't... we can't do anything about tariffs and subventions. So we can't really affect what goes into our trade centers. That's difficult. Do you think Kirk was a traditionalist with completely mainstream Christian views? I mean, I think he was definitely a traditionalist. I question his Christian views, because when it came to, you know, the teachings of the Bible when it comes to like migrants and acceptance of people, I have there's some questionable stuff from him there. I'm sure he was very devout in his faith, but it seemed he ignored a lot of those teachings about, you know, helping people and accepting people. But yeah, I would definitely characterize him as a traditionalist. But my English is not that bad compared to a daughter of politician that studied in USC. I mean, I think your English is great. I always find it interesting that, like, people who aren't native English speakers are more apt, I feel like, to say, my English is not very good, as opposed to native English speakers trying to speak another language and butchering it. I usually find non-native English speakers' skill with English is generally much better than native English speakers' skill with other languages, at least here in the U.S. That's why whenever I hear anybody say, you know, like, well, my English isn't very good, I'm like, your English is great compared to everybody else's foreign language skills. So give yourself some credit. You could get a stroke. How she writes paragraph in English. How can someone live in the U.S. can't write a proper paragraph in English? My English is my third language. See, okay, so that's like excellent. It's not even your second language. I think your English is great. And yeah, writing skills, oh my God, they're in danger. So I'm a college professor, and I have 2 papers each semester that my students need to write. And generally across the board, I'm just like, oh my God. Like, I think writing is not something that's being focused on in high schools anymore. At least it can't be, based on the writing skills of my students. Now that, you know, some students are very excellent, some are very good, but you do get a good number of students who just don't know how to write like a paper. And I find that very interesting. A group of missionaries have been preaching Christianity to the Wagaya people of Port Phillip, and have asked to be formally assisted by the government. Uh, yeah, we'll take this one. All right, we're at the hour mark. We are going to take a quick break. Pay homage to the gods of ads, so that nobody misses anything during an ad break. So, 90 seconds, go to the bathroom, get a drink of water, and we will be right back. All right, and we are back. We are back. Let's see. You should increase your colonial institution by increasing your bureaucracy. Yeah, yep. It's definitely on the list. I think writing skills in boys generally develop later in life than females. Oh, is that true? That's interesting. Yeah, it's so interesting. I mean, when you get kids, I have a boy and a girl. Seeing the differences between boys and girls is very apparent. Gold has been known to exist here for some time, though only in insignificant quantities. Until now. William Clark reports an abundance of gold embedded in quartz. This could bring great wealth to the colony, but it also risks sparking hysteria among the convict settlers, destabilizing our fragile society. The landowners urge us to suppress these rumors to prevent their workforce from abandoning the fields in pursuit of fortune. Put it away, Mr. Clark, or we shall all have our throats cut. So we could get the landowners up to land squatting. Wait, what? Oh, we lose this. We get more resource discovery chance. We lose some of our workforce, though. Yeah, I'd rather not lose 7% of my workforce. I didn't realize that we have a negative 125% chance of resource discovery. How long do we have that in New South Wales? $18 years. Oh no, I want this one. I think we will pursue these rumors. This afternoon, Thomas Saunders, leader of the Anglican Church, delivered a fiery speech advocating for the enactment of charity hospitals. Excellent. I could share her chat. I think your daughter could write a better sentence than her. I don't know, my daughter's writing skills, it's one of the things in school right now she needs to work on herself. Why are you berating your daughter? Disrespecting your daughter to strangers is very poor. Are you talking about me? I'm not berating my daughter. And oh no, Laplace is talking about somebody else. Yeah, I'm not berating my daughter. The Anglican Church are requesting that we increase frontier control. And support the civilizing mission in Victoria by establishing a native reserve. However, the landowners protest this as a waste of arable land. Look at that in a second. Let's see. Plus 5% Aboriginal Dreamtime pops. Oh, look at that. Okay, that's a religion. Become more radical. Yeah, I'd rather do that. Oh boy, okay. Okay, so we have no, this is part of the problem. We have no private construction going. So maybe, yeah, let's hold off on selling this stuff. Oh, well, no, the coal mine. I want the company to own that. Oh, here we go. See, we do actually want this to be sold. Okay, so how are the goods going here? Oh, wait, tell me I forgot to... Oh, good lord. Oh, wait, oh my god, that my chat did that thing again where it wasn't scrolling. Hey, Sharky Boy, hello, hello. Is the Swiss thing done? Yeah, it was only going to be those 2 sessions, and then we're only doing, so we're doing the Australia, New Zealand flavor pack right now. So we're only doing this one, for this session. Because then next week, National Awakening comes out. I assume it was just testing, not intended to be a full run. Yeah, no, I don't want to start I didn't want to start a full run this week, with the DLC coming out next week. I think every human is good at something. Doesn't mean they are bad. I hope your daughter learn and discover her passion. I already sent that. Wait, who's it? My daughter? I feel like... Wait, are we talking about... You know, we were talking about my daughter. Yeah, I mentioned her writing skills are poor, but, you know, she's in 2nd grade. Like, I'm just saying, it's one of the areas she has to work on. I don't think I was disrespecting her. Agriculturalists have set up vast estates on unlicensed crown land. Despite being unauthorized, these squatters have become a boon to the development of the colony. The wealth they generate from our economic reliance upon them has entrenched the squatters as a squattocracy. Squattocracy landowners entrenchment has led to tenant farmers. Oh, this is interesting. Okay. So agriculturalists have set up vast estates on unlicensed crown land. Despite being unauthorized, these squatters have become a boon to the development of the colony. The wealth they generate from our economic reliance upon them has entrenched the squatters as a squattocracy. Yeah, so we get a bunch of colony growth speed and throughput. But we're giving a lot more political strength to the aristocrats. So we don't really want that. Yeah. So it looks like we were going to get tenant farmers either way. So we're going to have to work on that. Oh, and now we should put road maintenance back up here. That's a 23-year-old college student writing skill. You need bureaucracy to get your money back in the green. No, I mean, so we're getting a negative... We're getting a plus 2.8% tax waste. So our tax waste is only 73 pounds right now. We would end up paying more money for the government admin than we would get back in the taxes. Now, I do want to build a government admin just so I can expand some of the institutions, but where we're at right now with bureaucracy, we're at negative 3.02. Building a government admin building would cost us more money than what we'd get back if we're just building it for that reason. It's not going to get us even more money here. No, what we need... Yeah, so we're paying a ton of money to Great Britain. In the midst of the debate surrounding charity hospitals, one of the country's leading playwrights, strongly associated with the Anglican Church, has staged a widely acclaimed play whose politically laden theme makes no secret of the author's desire for the law to be passed. So we'll do that one. That conversation was so confusing. I don't think he's talking about your daughter. That was all sent while you were on break. Oh, okay. Yeah, because I had mentioned something about my daughter, so I was like, wait. We're talking about me? We're talking about somebody else? What is going on? Average chat conversation moment. Yeah, indeed. I feel there's a new delay on this part, though. Oh, is there? The YouTube delay thing, man, is like the bane of my existence. Yeah, you should get back to homesteading. This is true. And that might actually be the next thing we do now. Because we got, yeah, a lot of approval for it. So when we're done with charity hospitals, we will go for that. Outraged by recent regulations placed upon squatting, William Wentworth has rallied the squattocracy to form a pastoral association to pursue squatcrat interests. I love it. Arriving on horseback with a procession of marching bands to hold a public meeting, Wentworth threatens to petition Queen Victoria of Hanover. Oh my god, Queen Victoria will decide how to handle it. Political strength to the squattocracy. So if we do this, so we can lessen political strength to the aristocrats. Oh, but then in New South Wales, the IG still, though, gets more. Yeah. Let's let Queen Victoria figure it out. Yeah, we gotta keep an eye on this, too. Oh, look at this. Okay. So, yeah, building native reserves will help us here. So maybe we do want to build a native reserve level. Yeah, and we're already out of peasants. Look at that. So we'll build one, and we'll see, like, how much of a change will that give us? Oh, we're getting 0.9. I can figure it out now. How many of those building levels do we have? So okay, so we get 0.3 per level. I was talking how a corrupt politician's daughter was bad at English writing. A conversation the prof I already sent in Discord. 1XRM, hey, hello. Welcome. How are you? Thanks for joining in. But the conversation goes 360 and branch to many things and produce confusion in the original theme. Yeah. So, typical internet chat. An Aboriginal man is charged with murdering another of his tribe as part of a customary revenge killing. This case has raised the question of English law jurisdiction over matters between Aboriginal peoples. In 1829, R.V. Ballard set precedent that it was unjust to hold a native responsible for offenses against their own tribe. Overruling this decision would establish a doctrine of terra nullius. Nullius. We will acknowledge Aboriginal customary laws. So, permanently, we lose 50 authority. And we add the amount of bureaucracy we need for colonial affairs. We give a whole bunch of political strength to the indigenous. Tension lowered. I don't know. Plus 100 authority. Plus 50% institution size change speed. Minus 10% bureaucracy, colonial affairs. We will not be able to establish native protectorate subject types while the doctrine is active. I hate to say it, but I think we're going to go with this one. Yeah, screw them. Unanimous, everybody. Screw them. You should make even more native reserves. Yeah, it looks like that actually will help us with the frontier wars here. Is there any merit to pass economy law beside interventionism and laissez-faire? I think so, depending on what you're doing. Industry bans and extraction economy are not great, but cooperative ownership... Oh, we got gold. Cooperative ownership and command economy definitely add some stuff. Like, if you want to really turn most of your construction over to the government, command economy is the way to go. Also, with command economy, this is the highest government dividends efficiency you can get from an economic law. So considering the base is 25, that gets you to 65. And then there's a couple other techs you can get that increases it. But you can get to keeping 65% of your government dividends. And then you get to keep 90% of the construction points if this is something you want to do. And then this one will help you really move forward with like a socialist or communist government type, because your workers are going to own everything. So it will really, if you really want to lessen the power of your industrialists, cooperative ownership would be the way to go. So it kind of depends on what you're trying to do with the run. News of easy riches in the Northern Cape have reached our shores, siphoning our workforce and severely hurting our economy. As Northern Cape gains new townships, we gain new ghost towns. Perhaps we could reverse our economic downturn if we had our own gold rush. Such encouragement may lead to unruly optimism, however. 20% of our non-indigenous laborers, farmers, clerks, shopkeepers, and machinists have gone to the Northern Cape. Yikes. Alright, so it'll still happen here. Oh my god, we'll lose 55,000. Yeah, I think we're just going to do this. I'm holding off on playing until National Awakening. Yeah, that makes sense, right? I'm pretty excited for this one, for National Awakening. I think it's really going to add some cool stuff. I can't wait to play that one on Tuesday. We're going to be starting a Serbia run. Where is which state? Settlers have set up a small settlement on the banks of a small river in New South Wales. However, a number of scouts sent out by the Red Jury people, apologies to those people in butchering that, have warned the settlers that the settlement is at the heart of a ferocious floodplain. Sure, let's move it. Is there... Oh, wait. Does command economy mean the more you own, nationalize, the profit it goes? Um, yeah. Yeah, so the more, well, I guess it's kind of a give and take, right? I mean, you're still probably going to get, you're still going to get a good amount of money from taxes from your pops if they're privately owned, but it does increase the amount of dividends you're getting from the government. So if you do want to own it yourself, it'll help you in that. You also get less radicals from nationalization. Oh yeah, that's right. It disables the investment pool except for companies, and you can't privatize things. Yeah, also, the plus 25% leverage resistance, if you have power blocks that are now asking you to join, and every time you say no, um, you're losing relations with them, and it's going to get you to the point that you are going to go to war. You could do this, give you more leverage resistance, because then they won't be able to ask you to join anymore, hopefully. And then political strengths of bureaucrats. Yeah. And then look at it. Seize all funds in the investment pool for the treasury and convert any private constructions into government constructions. If you're in massive amount of debt, too, if you're in a debt spiral, this could possibly save you if you have a very big investment pool. The river that the settlement used to be located on has flooded, proving the worth of the indigenous inhabitants' word. All right, excellent there. I prefer interventionism. Being able to nationalize is a good tool I can't go without. Yeah, especially if you're like giving out investment rights. You need to be able to nationalize. And yeah, with laissez-faire, you're not able to do that. By the way, Serbia has an achievement to form Yugoslavia. Serbia has an achievement to form Yugoslavia. Yeah, I know. I saw that. I was able to look at that right before the stream started. So you can do that. Well, we might hunt for that one. So there's the achievement to form Yugoslavia, but there's also an achievement. It looks like for Serbia. If you start as Serbia and you take Saxony. Oh, that's crazy. Wait. Yeah, that's going to be tough. You start as Serbia and you take Saxony. Yeah, we'll see about that one. Do you think National Awakening will make being one culture powerful like Japan? I think... Actually, I think it sounds like it'll be a little bit of the opposite. Well, no, I think having one culture will be more beneficial to you because you won't have small national movements rising up. But it does sound like, especially with like the new subjecthood law, it can help you if you have many cultures to have your main culture be even more powerful if you start to really lean into the new nationalism mechanics. So I don't know if it'll make having one culture more powerful like Japan, but I think it'll make Japan or states like Japan more stable than other ones that have many, many cultures, which in turn makes it a little bit easier. Responding to native raids, frontier settlers have ambushed a warrior a Were camp, tying up and killing over 28, mostly women and children. Oh, look at this. It's kind of like a reference point for where they're getting this. Then oofing and burning them, trying to evade discovery. John Plunkett, oh, I said that, but, I said this word anyway. John Plunkett prosecuting the case against the settlers is facing resistance from sympathetic jurors and an inability to use the main witness, Davy, due to the law not permitting Aboriginal testimony. Plunkett is now pushing for legal reform. Hey, so we can get some progress on egalitarianism. 7 English pops lose their lives. So we'll lose, out of our 291,000, we'll lose 7. Thoughts and prayers. We'll get more loyalists. I do love about this mod how they're giving you kind of like historical context for a lot of stuff like this. Yeah, the perpetrators must hang. Let's do that. Oh, so now we have native testimony. A religious oath is required to give evidence in court under the rationalization that belief in a God and divine consequence is needed to understand the nature of an oath. Thus, Dreamtime Aboriginal people are not considered competent to give testimony, despite being able to be a defendant or accused in the same court. Reform is contested by opposing domestic interests as well as the British Attorney General's office, decreeing its repugnancy with the principles of British jurisprudence. So, this will complete if the reform progress bar has reached 100. New South Wales has enacted equal rights or total separation. The repugnancy progress bar has reached 0. And if we do it, okay. So, colonial humanist. Okay, this is all interesting. So repugnancy increases by 2 every month. This is increasing. Okay, so they're both increasing. So I think we'll keep that as is for now. I'm tempting to go full commie on my next run. Yeah. I feel like my first couple runs, my first couple streams were all full commie. Lately, they've been all capitalist. You should add another native reserve to one of your states. Possibly. The problem is we do have quite a few other things we need to prioritize. Do you watch the OG Planet of the Apes? Do you watch the OG Planet of the Apes? It's start recommended in YouTube Shorts. I mean, I have seen it. It's a decent movie. It's one of those movies I feel like if you've never seen it, it's definitely worth a watch. So I would do that. Is this a historical thing? Yeah. So this is called the Australia and New Zealand Flavor Pack mod. So it's focused specifically on adding flavor to Australia and New Zealand. Kind of like what Colossus of the South did for South America. Which is great because I feel like in the vanilla game, Australia and New Zealand get very little. Thomas Saunders, leader of the Anglican Church, has been openly preaching about the benefits that a mysterious and secret political gamble can bring to our government. When asked for details, he smiles coyly, refusing to elaborate. Yeah, no, how about that? More and more settlers in Canberra have been moving away from the frontier and into unbanished areas, diminishing our influence over the region. Oh, the Northern Cape. Okay, yeah. I was like, where is the Northern Cape? Assuming we're just looking at Australia here. South Africa, yeah, yeah. Adding more government expenses is not great, although migration attraction would be nice. Actually, I wouldn't mind the loyalists. We're kind of losing the plot on that one. Alright, so we have one iron mine. We're not hiring, though. Yeah, we are having a population problem. Big time. A pearling crew anchored off Port Phillip to find water has come across a curious case of Watherung people accompanied by a white man. This encounter has been reported to their captain with request for instructions to rescue the man. Oh, you know, I don't feel like we ever got a decision on Queen Victoria about that thing we asked her. Rescue the white man by force. The tribesmen grunt, fling their arms in the air, and begin to walk away, signaling that they are not interested in bartering. So we'll do force. As men approach with rifles, the indigenous tribe believe they are under attack and prepare to throw a spear. Seeing this, the Pearling crew open fire on the tribe, forcing them to scatter. The white man is Narcisse Pelletier, who appears angry and reluctant to be saved. Okay. Considering it's called Victoria and the main boss is Great Britain, Great Britain doesn't get much flavor at all. Just Confederate Canada, Australia, and form the Roz. Yeah, which forms by itself now anyway. Yeah, I suppose this is true. I don't know how much flavor you get, though, in Great Britain when you play as Great Britain. Because it's actually the one country I've played almost none of in the game. Since they start off as the #1 power, it's never been of that much interest to me, but so I don't know how much flavor they have just for the British mainland. But it is kind of funny, right? If there isn't a lot. I mean, that's why I thought, oh, they always thought why they did Pivot of Empire, because it's like, yeah, we're adding flavor for India, but that's mainly adding flavor to Great Britain, considering the time period. Because most of the flavor is dealing with getting rid of Great Britain. Yeah, we... Ugh, okay. Oh, yeah, now we can do this whole thing. So we have the rural folk in government, this is true. Can we get the squatocracy out there? Oh, here we go. The squatocrat petition of Victoria of Hanover on the matter of recent squatting regulations has finally sailed back to our shores. Victoria has rejected their plea and publicly spurned the Pastoral Association for disrespecting the edicts of the governor. Long live Queen Victoria of Hanover. All right. Well done, Queen Vicky. Nothing really. The king dies early and Victoria becomes queen, which doesn't do anything for your game. Then it's a sandbox. Oh. Yeah, that is kind of surprising, right? You would assume the base game comes with a bunch of flavor for Great Britain. And then the plan to add flavor as they go. Okay, we've got to take a look at the budget here. Yeah, so what's really killing us is that they're not building here. Okay, so we gotta get rid of... We're gonna stop privatizing. Because they're so busy trying to privatize. Wait, what is it they're privatizing? In Morton Bay. Which... Oh, they're private. Okay. Damn, we've got to increase the investment pool here. Oops. Yeah, we have no financial districts. Then, yeah, you know, honestly, we do need to sell the tooling workshop. And we need some urban buildings. When am I going to get more convicts? Oh no, not this. So every 3 months, one of our Australian homeland states will receive a shipment. Okay. How are we doing on migration attraction here? Ah, weekly migration. Alright, so at least... So we're not going to be losing people. Yeah, we're losing people to South Africa. That's our big problem. Penal colony without Panopticon. Panopticon. Lame. Yeah. A penal colony without enough convicts. Though the widespread introduction of the atmospheric engine in the minting industry, productivity is at an all-time high. Yes, to get us the water tube boiler. We don't own, though, any gold mines, right? All right, since the private sector isn't building anything, and they're looking to privatize stuff, we might pause for a little bit. A court clash over homesteading erupts between a few families. The early bird homesteaders can claim the same land in the Northern Territory. The dispute has called the legislation into question. Yeah, we can afford this one. Yeah, the mod should give the flavor slave labor camp, like in last autumn in Frostpunk. Oh, yeah. Yeah, like a labor camp. I mean, it does have the unique penal transportation of debt slavery. Yeah, so normally we don't want to pause government construction because it drains your investment pool, but if they're not building anything, then it's not going to drain them. And the next thing they're doing is privatizing livestock ranches anyway. Though it does mean nothing is being built. It would be nice if Britain or America built something here. Looking at you guys. I guess so the problem is we don't have people. Alright, here we go. So now we're getting... Nice. Okay, so we're getting people from Ulster. That's what we need. Then... Oh yeah, we don't need this up here anymore. And so we should do another greener grass campaign on one of these states. Yeah, we got a lot of resources here. We have gold fields. Okay, so then by all means, let's get more over there. We can go to 5 speed now. Oh, we get another company. Ooh, a general staff. Okay. So, what are we going to do with this company? Oh, you know, I didn't look if we have any unique ones. Oh, wait, we have... I didn't realize we had another company slot. Is that something to do with the power block? Oh, you know, I forgot we have Colonial Offices 3, so we don't pay as much bureaucracy for the Colonial Affairs Institution. Yeah, but this one sucks. So is there anything unique? Howard Smith Limited. Well, it's not bad. Phoenix Foundry. Oh, this is nice. Oh, look at this. Oh, but yeah, it has the logo, but it doesn't have iron. But this might be a good additional company at some point. The New Zealand Herald. Interesting. The Age. We get a prestige good there. Arnott's Biscuits. Oh, this actually is pretty good. Oh, look at that migration attraction. I don't know. This might be the one to go to. Because we need people. Although the only things we can add onto it kind of get in the way of their building. A rum distillery. Williams Stanford Limited. See, this one might be good. Oh, this is in France. Okay, and then the rest of these look like the standard ones. So, I mean, honestly, it's always the first company to go for. Like, the metals one. It's just the best one to help you get going. So what do we need here? The UI is horrible. I don't know, I guess I'm just used to it by now. But yeah, there's a lot of scrolling. See, I wish they they organized the companies in some way. Like, yeah, like they do here, like companies that focus on staple goods, ones that focus on industrial goods. Yeah, yeah, like you can't search for the name or type. That would be nice. That would be nice. All right, so we'll build one more iron mine. Because if we build this, then we can get the company. Which means we just got to suck it up and build. But our interest is really starting to get up there. Now, I want to get this tooling workshop sold. So we really do need to make it more profitable. So I hate to do it. We don't need labor-saving PMs. But I really need more people buying tools so we can sell this building. I much prefer generic steel for construction efficiency. But you need a decent economy to get them prosperity, yeah. See, I like the steel company. I think when it comes to companies, I like having the metal company. Because it's you don't build steel with the metal company. But you can add coal into here, which will be an input. And then you get the throughput bonus to the steel. Then, when you go to the generic steel company. So not that one, the generic one. Yeah, here we go. So you don't really add in these other ones. But then you get the state construction efficiency. I suppose, yeah, well, see, that's the thing. You can't add in 2 extra companies. So you would want to add in the iron, I guess. Then you'd have to have a whole other company for coal. But I feel like having the metals company and then the steel company really brings construction going. Because you get a throughput bonus on top of the throughput bonuses here for steel. And then you get extra state construction efficiency. What happens if you dissolve a company? Does their building owned by you? No, their buildings become local. They are owned by the local workforce, which means they're probably going to get bought. But at the moment that you sell the company, they go to the local workforce. The British government has established New Zealand as a crown colony. Oh. Player hint. This option will eventually allow you to play as New Zealand. Is that concerning hobbits playing? Change players actively controlled country from New South Wales to New Zealand. Oh, yeah, no. Let's hope no one gets any ideas. No, we want to stay here. But that's interesting. I don't see it. A well-acclaimed troupe of wandering artists has arrived in Port Phillip, followed by hundreds of requests about our generous government funding one of their concerts. Yeah, we don't have generous funding right now. The prestige is just not something that is totally beneficial to us yet. Yeah, plus 5% construction, plus 5% throughput on all manufacturing. Wait. Are you talking about for that company? Where do we get the plus 5% on all manufactured goods? No, we just get the state construction efficiency. See, what would be amazing is if the British power bloc added the construction mandate and we could get the construction company. That would be nice. Although, the tooling... Oh, wait, sorry, David, I missed it. Oh, yeah, you said generic steel for steel coal and generic tools for tools iron. I see what you're saying. Okay. Well, yeah, I mean, that's what I was just thinking as I was scrolling through. I forgot. And you can get a prestige tool. I might try this because every playthrough I do, I go for the Iron Company. Although, we'd have to build a bunch of tooling workshops, which isn't so bad. Let's give it a try. The two companies would also provide prestige steel and prestige tools. Awesome stuff. Yeah, you're right. Let's try something new. Let's do it. No, not that. So we're going to need 4 more tools here. Now, let's get them fully hired because we're going to switch to iron frame buildings. So I want the iron ready to go. Oh, come on. Speed 5. Higher up for me here. Alright, now we can switch it. Yeah, not great, but... Oh my god, what are you doing? Hire more. Oh yeah, hold on. And we have coal, right? So let's switch over to that. Yeah, keep... Alright, we're at the 2-hour mark, so let's take a quick break, 90 seconds. Go to the bathroom, get a drink, pay homage to the ad gods. We'll be right back. All right, and we're back, and we're back. Place, I think so, yes. I think you have to pay a nationalization price when dissolving a company. Do you? No, I don't think you pay a nationalization price because the buildings don't go to you. They go to the local workforce. Then you can buy the buildings from the local workforce, and then, yeah, you would pay a nationalization price. But when you dissolve the company, you don't pay anything. It just goes to the local workforce. But then your private sector will also has a chance to gobble up the buildings, as well as anybody with investment rights in you. Members of the Watharum people have been engaging in native raids across the Port Phillip countryside. Settlers affected are asking for assistance. The native testimony reform progress bar will retreat by 2.5. Compensate the farmers. No, I think we'll do this one. Alright, so we don't need to do that now. Gold discovered in New South Wales. This is what I like to see. Exactly what we needed. Maybe it's just because it was a charter company. Oh, maybe. Maybe that might change it. We can test it out at the very end of the stream because we're not... this is the only session we're doing with this. So at the very end, we'll dissolve our company and test what happens, but... It should go to the local workforce. To outside observers, the rural folk may appear firmly committed to the idea of homesteading, but behind this facade of unity, discord has long festered. Now a clique of dissenters have finally had enough and have officially broken with their fellow members over the issue of reform. And take a setback for plus 5%. Let's do that. Wait, are we not getting this? Wait, hold on. Oh, yeah, there it is. Okay, Goldfields. It's like, why does it look like we're not getting that? It doesn't feel like our budget has been helped at all, though. God, this, yeah. I wonder if they'll lower our subject payments. What would it take for that? Oh, we can't even ask. Hey, well, we're in the green. That's good. Because we really need to keep building. Alright. So this was helpful. Oh, well, we were in the green for a second. So is this the only thing we're subsidizing? Oh, the port. Yeah, we're not paying anything to subsidize this because this is profitable. The port. We don't need to subsidize that. See, it's really, yeah, it's really just our interest. We're paying 3.2k. Well, no, yeah, we're in -7. I hate to say this, but we can't afford to be on that yet. I'm afraid I let our debt get way too high. Alright, let's take a look at stuff. We can cut the Navy. Right, how much are we paying for that? That's the thing, we're not paying a lot. So we could get maybe about 500 pounds if we cut the Navy. Is this Hearts of Iron 4 music? No, this is, just the Victoria soundtrack. Ports are much better once you get bulk trading on Trade Center. Yeah. Yeah, exactly, because that's the problem, like... Our trade centers need, like, yeah, they're not using anything. You know, that's true, too. Hold on. So we're in the British market. We're getting things from them. Do we really need to be on cargo port? Oh, well, we're getting 100 convoys for it, so we kind of need that. Yeah, port should be buffed. 5 infrastructure is way too small. Yeah. Well, and the thing is here, like, do we even need the infrastructure from that? Oh, actually we kind of do. Damn. Alright, scratch that. We are going to need to subsidize this. Well, what we really need is a railroad. Have we gotten that yet? No, we haven't gotten that yet. Settlers have set up a small settlement on the banks of a small river in New South Wales. However, a number of scouts sent out by the Weagle people have warned the settlers that the settlement is at the heart of a ferocious floodplain. Yeah, we've done this before. We gotta stop adding government expenses, even if it's small. A group of missionaries have been preaching Christianity to the Wick people of Moreton Bay that have asked to be formally assisted by the government. I mean, the main problem, too, here is that we haven't really been able to build any urban buildings. We haven't gotten, like, textile mills and furniture stuff. I've kind of messed up on that. Yeah, we'll do this. Better info buff. Oh, wait. For DEI, port is way better than railway, given it's an archipelago. Yeah, that's true. Oh. A mine in New South Wales has collapsed, trapping miners within the dark shafts below. The scale of the accident has made the tragedy a story across New South Wales and the nation. Well, then we'll do this one, so it's just the upper strata pops. Hey, Jabba, hello, hello. Good to see you, buddy. How are you? Good to see you. The amount of convoy I have is so massive. Yeah, when you're them. A better info buff for ports on natural harbors would be cool. Yeah, that's true too, right? To get a little bit more off of that. The river that the settlement was founded on was flooded, and we were warned, completely destroying the town. Oh, yeah, I guess that would... Oh, the... Okay. Oh, yeah, wait, why are we suddenly losing on this? Interest groups in government approving state religion. Oh, and we're losing from our legitimacy. What do they approve of? Oh, they approve of state religion because they're traditionalists. How are you doing? Oh, it's my birthday today, so I'm well. Happy birthday, Java. Happy birthday. I hope you're doing something. I hope you're doing something fun. Outside of watching me, of course. It would make an island nation stronger like Great Britain. I have like 28k convoys playing TEI. I only managed to use 30% of it just from trading goods. Yeah, although you do kind of need a lot of excess from them, because if you go to war and you need to send soldiers overseas, you need to make sure you have enough convoys to cover it. And if you don't have them at the moment that you go to war, it's going to be hard to like catch up on it. So I think it is always good to have a massive surplus of it. Yeah, we're gonna mess this up. I went out to eat with some family, so it was fun. Oh, nice. That's always fun. Like a nice, good restaurant. It's hard to get out to restaurants for time and money's sake. So that's nice. So we need an interest group that approves of cultural exclusion, multiculturalism, equal rights, total separation, or colonial humanist. Oh, well, could taking them out do something? No. Is the minute break already done? Yeah. Yeah, we did that at the 2-hour mark. If I got somebody different to be the head... Oh, well, who... Yeah, what about these guys? Exclusive conservative. Neutral and state religion. But what would this guy add to them? Nothing. So if we got our legitimacy up... Oops. Nope. Alright, there's not much we can do about this right now. Well, alright, it's going down slowly, so we'll come back to it. Wait, how can you endorse slave trade and slave band? Oh, wait, which interest group was that? You don't like slavery, but okay, selling people through trading. Oh, conservative liberal. This is new. Oh, so this is probably... Oh, yeah. So, they don't like the slavery banned from this. Yeah, so they strongly endorse debt slavery, neutral on slave trade, legacy slavery, but then because of this, they strongly endorse slave trade and debt slavery. Hams, how much benefit do you think it gives to, say, have a rainbow state? Build all the arms industry there and have the entire army built from that one state, so the entire army cost is all local. I think I aim for that most times. Like when on Tuesday, when we were doing our Switzerland run, and so we're just the two states. I built small arms here. I built artillery here, and I was only building line infantry here, and then the cannon people here to keep it all local. So I think that's the way you want to do it, to the most that you can. Sometimes you just gotta build more soldiers in other states. But in terms of keeping military costs down, that's the best way to do it. That's too also why I really try to build up my initial navies in the states that I have the military shipyards, at least to start. Settlers on the frontier of Port Phillip have used arsenic to poison large numbers of Wathaurong people, intending to clear them off the land through mass extermination. That's also why it's good in the states that you have most of your barracks to have a couple farms and a food industry, because those are going to be major input goods for for the barracks. Yeah, we'll do this because we need this bar to increase a little bit. Oh no, it's cultural exclusion. Oh, sorry, the industrialists. Okay. So... yeah, they have, like, conflicting ideologies. Yeah, so they endorse debt slavery. Oh, was it on their laws, maybe? Yeah. Oh, or maybe it was... Cultural seclusion. Yeah, which one had that? Maybe the rural folk. All these wars happen in the background because of Great Britain. Okay, so they endorse slave... oh, yeah, yeah, there it is. Oh, this is weird, because this is from the mod. Maybe they messed up on this. They endorse slave trade and slavery ban. Nice catch. So, exclusive conservative on the rural folk. Endorse slave trade and slavery banned. We don't want slaves here at home, but I do want to buy and sell them. That's what they're saying there. Do you know which state in the game is the best for a military state that can also provide things like opium? Oh, yeah, for the extra. See, that's what's tough with opium. I've never considered opium. Oh, wait. Oh, boy. Hold on, let's take care of this. Oh my god, we have skirmish? Do we even... alright. And let's get some conscripts for line infantry. So we got plenty of sugar, liquor, we got plenty of opium. And plenty of tobacco. So let's do sugar and tobacco. Yeah, so wait, let's take a look at the opium states in the world. Whoa. Oh my god, we got opium down here in Van Diemen's Island? Well, this state, at least resource-wise, would be good. See, I think what you would be looking for is a state that has wood, lead, iron, opium, sugar. So, like, this state would be great if there were people here. Because you're going to need wood and iron to build the arms industries and the artillery. And you'll need the lead... actually, yeah, and sulfur. You'll need the lead for the munitions plant. But you also need explosives for the munitions plant. And to build the explosives, you need fertilizer. And for fertilizer, you'll need the sulfur. And then for input goods, the only thing this is missing is tobacco. Give them cocoa, not poppy. Poppy infused cocoa. Choco, yeah. Tasmania has opium. Yeah, right? I guess so. Hawaii is a monster island. Agricultural buff and wood output bonus. Yeah. If only you could just get more people there. Someday I want to do a Hawaii run. But yeah. Well, first let's look at these things. So agriculture plantations throughput, and then hardwood output. What about Cundinamarca? Because they have opium. Yeah, opium, tobacco, sugar. Ah, but they don't have the iron. So this would be a great military state, minus the iron. Now, there's... Nope, none there. India's gotta have some. Here you go. Hyderabad would be the best military state. You got logging, you got iron, you got sugar, you got opium, you got tobacco. I guess the only thing it's missing is sulfur for the explosives, but you could still build munitions. Yeah, and you don't have lead for the munitions. But at least for, like, if you're doing line infantry, then this would be the best state. When you get to skirmish and you start to need munitions. Although, you know, now with 1.9, it makes sense that in your states that you have military, you want quite a few trade centers there, because then you can import some of the stuff you need, and it would be a local good for the barracks. Inbred sheep. Due to our merino breeding program remaining rather insular without expanding for foreign merino breeding pairs, there has unfortunately been an epidemic of inbred sheep. Oh no. I'm sorry, my little sheepies. Funny how DEI doesn't have that bonus while being in the literal ring of fire. Yeah, with many active volcanic mountain and Krakatoa. That's a great point. I wonder how that worked out. Why didn't they give him that? News of easy riches in Shelibinisk have reached our shores, siphoning our workforce and severely hurting our economy. As Shelibinsk gains new townships, we gain new ghost towns. Man, yeah, we are having problems holding on to people. Perhaps we could reverse our economic downturn if we had our own gold rush. Such encouragement may lead to unruly optimism, however. Man, these events we're getting are killing us. Oh, man, no, we can't take $55,000 out of our budget right now, unfortunately. That's what happened to us the last time this came up. Hey, A-Data. Yo, I have a problem with this mod. The country names show up as AFP dash, and then the country name. How do I fix this? The country names. Hold on, let's take a look at that. Frustrated with the lengthy legal process surrounding homesteading, James MacArthur of the Rural Folk has approached us with an offer to expedite the process, utilizing his personal connections within the state apparatus. Three settlers, having moved to Port Phillip, hoping to build a new life in New South Wales, are struggling to survive in the unfamiliar environment. So let's take a look, like country names. Show up as AFP dash. Huh. That's interesting. Well, so let me ask you though, when you load this up... Hold on, let me pull up Steam. Do you load it also with the mod? I forget what it's called. Let me look at what I have here. The community mod framework. So it says in the description for this, you should load this mod with the other mod, community mod framework, and then in your playset list, you should put community mod framework first, and then the Australia New Zealand flavor pack at the bottom. Maybe that's your issue, because it doesn't look like it's showing up for us, but I loaded this up with the community mod framework and listed that one first. Gwanbuk in Korea is a rainbow state. Not sure what agriculture it has. Let's take a look. Ooh, yeah. Yeah, look at that. For all of your arms stuff. Yeah, there's no drugs here. I'm sure China has one. Although maybe the devs designed it this way. You're not going to get a perfect state. I think, though, not having one of the mobilization options in the state is fine, as long as you put some trade centers there. And if it's just one. I think having two of the mobilization options not there does complicate it a little bit. More and more settlers in New South Wales have been moving away from the frontier and into unbanished areas, diminishing our influence over the region. Oh, so... unbanished areas. Let me read that again. More and more settlers in New South Wales have been moving away from the frontier and into urbanized areas, diminishing our influence over the area. Whoops. Yeah, we could use some migration attraction here. We'll add in 100 government expenses. Ooh, minus 10% manufacturing industries throughput. Oh, I see. Yeah, no, we'll take this. All right, all right. Man, it is taking us a little bit of time, though, to get the tools we need for this tooling thing. Look at that. Tools are needed in the market. We just don't have people. So, oh, we're getting people from the Ionian Islands. So we have no migration controls. That's nice. I guess racial segregation, though, is not great. You know, I feel like we've been trying to get rid of tenant farmers for a long time as well. Oh, hold on. How is this war going? Oh my god, it's, Huh, I was not doing enough to pay attention to this, I guess. Alright, let's go to pillage. Get our kill rate up a little bit here. Oh, you know what? I was reading the numbers the wrong way. I thought we were losing this war. Okay. No, we're doing okay. So then actually, maybe we don't go and pillage and give our own land a bunch of devastation. Man, the British are going to bankrupt us. Although this war also is not beneficial. Alright, good. So at least we're out of the war. Let's see. We have good relations with France. Yeah, problem is, though, because we're a subject, we're not going to be able to do any goods transfers. Right? Treaty port, take on debt. Yeah. I find that to be really annoying. Although I guess it makes sense, because I could just, like, make a treaty to sell 1,000 dyes. From the British market. What was meant as a routine speech about the merits of homesteading by James MacArthur has quickly devolved into a public relations disaster for the rural folk. We're going to play a dangerous game here. We're going to go to the 2 setbacks because we're in the voting phase, but get our plus 10%. It's not ideal, but it is what it is. I wish we could ask to decrease our subject payments. Because you're killing us. Alright, let's get... Wait, what? Why are we... Oh! We never demobilized because Great Britain's in war. Ugh. It's like, why are we still paying so much for the small arms? We also don't need the conscripts assigned. So there's a small cost to that. Yeah, let's take a look here at our gold. But we still don't have any gold mines, right? But at one point it said the Northern Territory ran dry. Nope. We can do money transfers. We can't do the money, or we can't do the goods transfers. Try to sell more stuff. Oh my god, and we're not trading anything. Oh, our world market. Oh, our world market access. That would be the reason. Because of our infrastructure. Damn. Okay. Oh, well, we're going to have railways in 10 months. And of course, motors are expensive in the market. See, the problem is we don't have the people to really get a motor industry and then a railway going. So we might just rely on the motors from the British market and subsidize the railroad. Because the company is lowering. Time to put women into the workforce. Yeah, we might, I mean, legit go for property to women next. Market unification 1. Plus 10% infrastructure. Well, that's beneficial. Did that solve our problem? No. Hold on. What? Alright, we have homesteading. Really wanted to go for professional army next, but ooh, yeah, that's not gonna work. Okay. So how are we going to make up the government here? We also need to be mindful of this, that we are on the verge of failing here. We'll fail if one of these has enacted national supremacy, state religion, ethno-state. Okay, so the progress bar can get to 0, and we won't fail. Oh, well, we'll get this if we can get to total separation. William Wentworth, leader of the Squatocracy, has been speared in Northern Territory after a confrontation between settlers and members of the Pitjantjatjara people. Such is life on the frontier. You're just gonna get speared sometimes. Oh, buddy. Bring those responsible to justice. Nah, such is life. That's what you get. That's what you get. Alright, so what about going to total separation? Wait, hold on. So the squatocracy doesn't really care about it, nor do the military. All right, so what if we arrange the government this way? State atheism is king, yeah. Well, no, I'm trying to... I was looking at total separation mainly, though, just to... We can complete this. Oh, the repugnancy, though. Oh, this needs to get to 0. Following disputes regarding the treatment of Catholic missionaries, France has claimed Tahiti as a protectorate, granting them a base in Oceania. We should improve our standing with the French. But probably best done after multiculturalism, yeah. Yeah, it is a tough one to do early. State atheism. Unfortunately. This is one of the greatest practical absurdities ever committed by the courts. If England had a race of aboriginal savages, I presume they should make such a law as the present. So the repugnancy will be decreased by 2 every month. Yeah, no, let's... British traditionalist leaders in government. British interest groups in government approving state religion. British Tory party interest groups in government. Okay. I suppose then we are going to go for this. We'll lower the political strength of aristocrats if we do this. So it's very RNG what Britain does within government. Yeah, I suppose it is, right? Although, well, you start with all of these historical characters, so all of their ideologies and everything is set. So I guess there's not as much RNG about who you have leading your interest groups. Although this guy is not an historical character. A group of missionaries have been preaching Christianity to the Gamilaraay people in New South Wales and have asked to be formally assisted by the government. Yeah, I need to start lowering their political power a little bit. Man, reform progress, we've completely lost all of it. If we could get more of a legitimate government. So we need somebody in government who approves cultural exclusion, or multiculturalism or equal rights, or total separation, or colonial humanist. Hmm. It might be worth making this guy the head of the rural folk. Oh, yes, here we go. Just so we can see who else we can invite. But we are going to build a railway. And build it right after this so we can get our company. A new admiral has presented himself at the ports of New South Wales, cheerfully acclaimed by his peers. However, the nephew of Henry Dumoresque has also postulated that he has a most profound interest in the same title. We'll do that. The interest of the squattocracy in the lucrative furniture trade with Portugal has led them to begin lobbying in favor of closer ties with Portugal. Yeah, sure, why not? Let's be friendly with Portugal. Alright, let's speed up so we can get our company. The industrialists are requesting that we increase frontier control and support the civilizing mission in Victoria by establishing a native reserve. However, the squattocracy protests this as a waste of arable land. Yeah, let's do it. I think that's fine. That seems fine. See, this is why being part of a sovereign empire power block is just the worst. We've been so hampered by this diplomatic pact. Although now we are at a point where we could use... now we're at a point where we could use... I lost my train of thought. Since the Magna Carta, to be judged by a jury of peers is a bedrock of English jurisprudence, that the Aboriginal population or not has become a considerable concern, as it has resulted in judicial prejudice, which the natives are aware of. Ooh. Yeah, we don't want to get the Anglican Church to fury upon the heathen. Wait, what is this? Well, you know, yeah, look at this. Our colonization has been moving steadily. I guess, yeah, we've colonized around this one part. All right. So, I think we generally just need more stuff here. More urban buildings. Gold has been discovered in Port Phillip. People from all corners of the earth are converging there, confident that they will discover the next great lode and become incredibly rich. Yeah, we'll take that. Alright, so we can get 2 of these guys. We'll do that right after the railway. Alright. So now we can do New South Welsh Metalworks Consortium. So let's take a look at our guy, Adrian Walker. Alright, so we get plus 5% throughput. Ooh. Oh, nice. So you're going to get extra... So we're going to have throughput on the iron mines that we're going to give this guy. So give this guy the iron mines. We have another company slot. We did have that railway company. Yeah, in Victoria. Yeah, we can add railway in there. You need 5 levels of motors. Cannot place embargo on another power block. Member plus 100 trade advantage. Oh, I see the difference there. Now everybody would be in the British market. Although I'm not seeing where... Oh, there it is, the plus 10%. Okay. Oh, why is the construction efficiency so bad? Turmoil. Wow. Okay. Well, we are... Oh, South Australia. We are colonizing fairly well. The British Loyal Order. Well, unfortunately, we're at the time that I have to stop for today. So this was a cool mod. I think I highly recommend this one. The Australia New Zealand Flavor Pack mod. And yeah, definitely loaded up with the community mod framework mod. But yeah, this one was pretty good. But that'll be it for today. And so that's all for the Victoria 3 streams this week. So no more mod runs. So the next time we'll be doing a Victoria 3 stream will be next week on Tuesday when National Awakening comes out. I don't have a session tonight, unfortunately, but the next time I'll be on will be tomorrow night. So tomorrow night, we're going to be starting a new Anno 1800 run. Kind of excited for that. We kind of tested it out last Friday, and it was a lot of fun. So we're gonna try that again as we wait for Anno 117 to come out. But that'll be it for today. Thanks for watching, everybody. Of course, have a good rest of your day. And as always, be awesome. I'll see everybody next time. Have a good one.